are you?
Hello.
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see
You
you.
well?
Welcome. Yes,
Thank
I
you.
am.
Thank
And
you so much.
Found a place for it.
I did. Welcome everyone to Top Job. My name is Mwenesi Musalia, and today I am being hosted by a lovely founder and entrepreneur of Ythera Beauty. I'm in Anna's home, and now that we're here, I want to sit down with Anna and find out exactly how one becomes the head and queen of their own beauty empire. Anna, is that a good enough intro?
Yes. I don't know about empire, but
I don't know, I'm feeling very empirical.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good, Anna. Thank you so much for hosting me and inviting me into your home. This, most interviews I'm usually sat in a very quiet office.
And thank you for being so gracious to come
Asante sana.
and visit with me.
Asante sana.
Yes.
It's morning, so give me a little bit of coffee.
Yes. So
Black.
and some accompaniments.
Wow. This is, I wish all my interviews go this well.
Karibu sana. You took the journey out here, so we have to make sure you're comfortable.
I did.
So, karibu sana.
I mean, you've obviously got amazing taste, and your style is second to none.
Thank you.
Where would you say your style comes from?
I think my style, when you say my style is my mother.
Your
I'm
mother?
actually a tomboy, yes.
What do you mean? No, you can't be a tomboy.
Yes.
No,
it
come
is
on.
totally my mother. So I'm guessing over the years it rubbed off on me.
Okay.
But yeah, I am more comfortable out there, running around, doing a hike.
Tell me about those early days now. Where did you grow up? How obviously your mother has such a big influence on you.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
I grew up in a small village
Yeah. Thank
in
you so much.
Nakuru County
Thank
called
you.
Kerema.
Kerema.
Yes, it's actually one of those places. It's a polling station, so nobody knows
It's a
about
polling
it
station.
until elections come along. Yes, come around.
Right.
So grew up there. My parents were teachers, but really, really great influence on me.
Okay.
Complete tomboy. The girl that went to play with a pair of shoes and came home with one shoe.
Did you have brothers and lots of guy cousins as well?
Yes, I'm the oldest girl. So
Okay.
I'm the oldest in my family. We are four, and I
Okay.
have three boys.
Okay.
As brothers.
Wow.
So my comfort zone growing up was always men. I felt more comfortable there than I did
Interesting.
around women. Yes.
Okay. And did you know that you were always going to get into beauty, or
Oh no.
because I would imagine
No,
like
not
from
at all.
tomboy to beauty.
There's certain things I loved. Like I remember, observing my mom. Like I said, my mom is what you call a girly girl.
Okay.
Which I am totally not.
Apparently, your mom has had a huge influence on you, and you've grown up with the first of four children, and you've got your brothers, and they've obviously given you this tomboy edge. But tell me a little bit about your mom and the influence that she's had on you. I would imagine that she's been very important.
She did, and she was very important. But funny enough, those are things you realize later.
Okay.
Because I think when I was young, we fought about everything. She wanted me in a dress. I don't feel like it because I'm going to go run around with boys, climb trees, dresses, not really convenient. I know she tried training me to wear heels actually pretty early.
So she was like girly girl, feminine.
Yeah, she's
the whole
girly
thing.
girl, feminine, and I remember I would get these heels, and at the time they were like kind of strapless, not strapless, but the sandals, and I'll come home and all the straps are gone, or I come home with one.
Because you had to obviously go climb the trees in heels.
and come back with one shoe, or I fell off the tree, but I'm not going to tell her I fell off the tree. So yeah, but over time, because I noticed, like she loved fragrance and perfume.
Okay.
And that's the one thing, I didn't know what the purpose was. Even being a little girl, I remember, I would just take it and drench myself in it.
Yeah.
But, it's what she does. And it wasn't until much later, actually, it's pretty interesting because she had me wear dresses, and it was always the dresses she chose. I think all of us as little girls growing up in Kenya can relate to that.
Yeah.
So after my teen years, when I could, started a job and could buy myself a dress, I never wore dresses again. I went for a period of like 10 years when I did not own one dress.
Was this after? So
So
tell
it
me
was-
about education.
Yes, so grew up in Kerema, I did boarding school for a little bit. And then because we moved to that place when I was in standard 4.
Okay.
And there was no primary school anywhere.
In Nakuru now?
Where the Kerema, the place we
Okay.
lived. My parents actually started the first, which is still there, primary school in Kerema. And it has standard 1 and 2. I was in standard 4. So they took me to boarding school.
Okay.
So I was there from standard 4 to about standard 7. And then I moved back to Kerema nearby and went to school locally, so standard 7 and 8. And then after that, I went to Eldamoravian Girls, which is in Eldamoravian. This is now the current Baringo
Oh,
County.
wow. Okay.
Yes. So up to, did my Form 4, KCSE. I graduated at 16.
At 16, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Came home, came to Nairobi, you know, at that point, you kind of do college, and I actually...
Did you know what you wanted to
No, I had
pursue?
no idea. I literally had no idea who I wanted to become or what I wanted to do. Or even what I was good at, because I don't think any of those things were really nurtured. Like, you know, growing up in high school, it was about study, 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 and
Right.
you know, I liked certain things, but no one really nurtured me.
Okay.
So
there was nothing deep down, like a
No, there was
calling, like
actually
something saying,
nothing
Anna,
deep-
this is
no,
what you got to do.
There was
No.
actually none of that.
Okay.
And I remember during that time period when we were deciding what to do, I actually went to secretarial school, so I can actually shorthand, like, you know, not anymore,
Oh,
but
wow.
I was pretty good.
Okay.
So, and then I got a job in Nairobi. I was actually personal secretary for a little bit. I'm not very good at it, which is okay. At least I knew that I don't want to do. And then I went to the States to college. And at that point...
How did you end up in the States? Is it something that you planned, or was there an
No,
opportunity,
again,
like
there
scratch
was
and win, let's go to the US?
No planning of I'm going to the US.
Okay.
It was one of those, I think early 90s.
Yeah.
This is kind of early mid 90s. I think everybody that graduated went to the States. It was like the path.
Graduated
There was
out of
that-
university?
No, out of
Out of high school?
Yes, there was that period. It seems like every Kenyan was kind of going to the States.
Okay.
So I had a lot of friends who were, you know, going.
So what did you do? Like, did you just like wake up and be like, okay, let me
I
put
was
some money
literally- I was
together,
like, okay,
let me
okay.
apply, and...
And that's why I say about my parents being amazing, because, you know, my friends are leaving. So finally I was like, well, maybe I also should go.
I mean, everyone's going to the US,
You know,
why
so
not?
everybody's going to the US. Maybe I should go to college there. And there was something I wanted to see it. I read a lot, and that's
Okay.
also my mother.
Okay.
So I've always read. She read
Okay.
a lot, so we always had a lot of books in the house. So I had this imagination and these
Fantastic.
other places that I always thought I should visit. So for me it was like, okay, I'll go to the States. And when I, you know, broached that to my parents, they were like,
Sure.
sure.
And so they paid for your ticket
Pretty
and
much,
everything.
yes. And that's why I say they're amazing.
And you rock up to
Somehow-
America.
Yeah, and I rock up to America, and I end up in a place called Rapid City, South Dakota.
Rapid City, South Dakota.
Population 60,000 people.
Homegirl from Kerema,
Kerema.
Nakuru County,
Yes.
in the 90s. Rapid City, South Dakota.
And it is cold.
Yes.
It was supposed to be spring, but there was snow.
Do you
Yes.
need a certain type of personality to just have that, you know what, I don't know what waits for me out there, let me just go?
I think you do. I think you need, it's about being able to dream.
Yeah.
And I think I'm one of those people who kind of, I take the situation as it is,
Okay.
and decide I'm going to make the best out of it, and I'm going to give it everything I have. And there's always good in everything. I don't want to regret that I never tried my best.
Beautiful.
I don't want to look back and go, well, maybe if I give it a little bit more time. Plus, I love a challenge. The more challenging, I'm one of those, you challenge me and you tell me I can't. And in my head, I'm like, oh, we'll see.
So what kind of challenges did you face the first time you landed in South Dakota?
Cold.
Cold. All right.
It was
What else?
freezing. The other one is, in the 90s, there were no black people in South Dakota.
I can imagine.
No, there were like spots. There were few. My college had one, and she was mixed.
And so you
Yes.
you actually went to college there?
Yes, so I did
what
a
were you going to
semester.
yeah?
So I was going to study computer science.
Okay.
Which, you know, I studied, and then I was like, this is not working. It was lonely.
Okay.
Because, you know, it was a little bit lonely, so I decided to move to
Okay.
St. Louis. Again, that other leap of, again, I do this a
That's
lot.
in Missouri.
Yes, that's in Missouri.
Okay.
And I moved there when the flight I took from Kenya, you know, to US, you know, through, it was British Airways, through
Yes.
Gatwick, and then ended up sitting with this lady. I didn't know her. She was going to, her husband lived in the States, so she was going to join her husband. And she gives me her, you know, the house number, you know, her husband. And in my head at that point, I'm thinking, you're young. You're just like, why am I going to call you? I don't know you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I got to South Dakota and I was very lonely, and we started talking, and we would have all these conversations. And I told her how lonely it is, and I don't like it. And she's like, move to St. Louis.
You see why it's important to make small talk with people? You never know where
You
your
never
next
know.
opportunity will come from.
Yes.
Amazing.
So yeah, she said move to St. Louis. So end of semester, I remember my last exam, my bags were packed. And I don't even have money to fly from
I'm gonna
Rapid
say,
City.
like,
I
yeah,
took the
like,
bus.
it's like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
I'm
you
like,
know.
oh yeah. I took the bus to St. Louis.
Okay.
And
So what
then-
happens there?
So there I was again, enrolled in school.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for about a year and a half. There were a lot more. There were a lot
Studying
more
the same
Kenyans.
thing?
Yes, still studying the same
Okay.
things. A lot more Kenyans at the time, so a little bit more.
And are you tomboyish at this point, or are you starting to get
no,
in touch with?
I still, I've always been this paradox. Yes, I'm a tomboy on one hand, but I also do like to look good. I like nice clothes. I love shoes. So there's always this paradox somewhere. Like,
Sure.
and I kind of felt weird because, a lot of women at the time, you were either one or the other. So I stayed in St. Louis for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And I remember it was very difficult. Just trying to go to school and paying for school and working and
Were you working at this time? Because how are you living? What are you doing
yes,
for money?
that's the
at that
thing.
point?
You're trying to support yourself, but you're also paying school fees. So
Okay.
it was really tough. And
Okay.
the jobs you're getting are minimum wage
Sure.
jobs, so they're not you don't have a degree. So it became very difficult. And I remember quitting school for a little bit, which is easy to do when everybody around you at that age is like if no one is going.
How old were you at this time?
I was about 21.
Okay.
So
Hustling in St. Louis, Missouri.
yes, hustling,
Okay.
working 3 jobs, just trying to make. You're not even working 3 jobs
Right.
for luxury. It's working
And
3 jobs
to
to try
survive.
and make ends meet.
That's right.
This is
And
not
you're in
really
school at the
meeting.
same time.
Yes.
Okay.
And I remember, I don't know if you've heard of these parties that happen in Atlanta. I don't know
Yeah,
if they
yeah,
still
yeah.
happen, the
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
and
okay.
all the
Yeah.
Kenyans are down there. And
Yeah.
I remember going there
Uh-huh.
and I ran into some of my friends that lived in Atlanta. And I hadn't seen them since, they left. And then eventually I left, but
Okay.
we never really. And I remember seeing them and I'm like, they have a different hustle. Yes, they're all working, but they're still all going to school. So there's this network of support. And it was November and I told myself, I'm moving to Atlanta because here there is more
Community and all of that
there's
stuff. Yeah.
support,
Okay.
yes. And I remember going back to St. Louis, and in February of the following year, I packed up I had this little red car, and I put everything that could fit in there, and I moved.
Wow. Okay.
So
So you
we-
rock up to the ATL. They call
so
it the
I rock
ATL.
up to the ATL
Right.
and start doing the same thing again. And at that point, I'd observed a few friends who have kind of gotten some, not necessarily professional, but semi-professional. They're working in offices. They're no longer doing the factory jobs. So I was like, okay, I need to get, I can type. I know how to use a computer. I can file. So I'm going to get an office job,
Right.
which I did.
Right.
And then went back to school and still computer science.
It's amazing that everywhere where you've gone, you've always said, you know what, I have to go back to school. There's no parents hovering above you. There's just you deciding wherever I am, as much as I'm doing all these things and I'm experiencing this, I need to go back to school.
It dawned on me at some point, it was the only way out.
Okay.
Because if I don't get that degree,
Yes.
I'm going to be working these 3 manual jobs to make ends meet for the rest
And
of
that's
my
going to be
life.
the future of your life,
And I don't want to
So
do
did you
that,
get the
so-
degree?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations.
Yes, but in accounting, not
Right.
in computer science.
Okay.
Yes, so finally ended up getting a degree in accounting.
Okay.
Became an accountant, and then did an MBA.
Wow.
Worked for a couple years. I think I did a year and a half in Atlanta working.
Okay.
And then I moved to Vegas.
To Vegas.
Yes.
Well, I'm
So
not
we-
going to take a break because I really
Yes.
want to know what happened in Vegas.
It stays there.
It stays there. But at least maybe you can give me just a snippet. Just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, so Vegas?
Yeah, so moved to Vegas again, professional setting. I was an accountant.
Okay.
That's why I actually did my MBA.
Fantastic.
So did my MBA. Still continued. in
It's amazing.
finance.
People go to Vegas for other things, not
yes,
MBAs.
they do go to Vegas for. No, I wasn't going there for an MBA. I went there. It was okay. I've done the southern thing, which
Yes.
was Atlanta. There
Yeah.
was this thing. I think when I was there, it was almost. I'm already so far away from home.
I'm with
so
you. Yeah.
might
Let me,
as well.
let me experience
Let me
the US for
experience.
what it for
And I
what it
wanted
is.
to see the West.
Got you. Okay.
But I didn't go all the way because all
Okay.
the way would have been California.
Sure.
Like,
So
let
you
me
left
Vegas.
Georgia and went to
Yes,
Nevada.
I went to Nevada.
Got you.
And
Okay.
it's the desert.
Okay.
And different kind of things.
Right.
It took a while to appreciate the beauty of the desert. but it's actually a beautiful place.
How important would you say all of that exposure was to you becoming the person that you are?
I think at every point, because every one of them had different challenges, I met different people along the way. I have a way of saying, I believe whatever you want to call them, I call them my angels.
Okay.
At every point in life where I have needed that person, they have been there. And some of them I don't know, complete strangers.
So did you have close people who were with you on this journey?
Yes, in every place.
Okay.
And sometimes some of those people are not even in my life anymore.
Right.
Some of them still are.
Right.
But I know at that point, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have probably made it to the next step. Yes.
And how long now were you in the States for? Was it a conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm going to be here now for either the rest of my life, or I do plan on actually going back to Kenya and doing something?
I never had a plan to come back.
Okay.
I never had a plan to come back or not to come back.
Okay, it was just...
My whole thing is I'm going to go do this.
Okay.
I'm going to pursue this career.
Okay.
I'm going to climb this corporate ladder.
Okay.
In this foreign country.
Okay.
And that was my focus.
Okay.
You know,
So climbing the corporate ladder, you've got your MBA, you're moving on.
I'm moving on.
Okay.
I worked at CBS Radio,
Right.
you know, the corporation,
Right.
which is, you know, Fortune 500
Yep.
company.
Yep.
Rose up the ladder, I'm a financial controller. So, you know, things are good.
Yeah.
But every time I would come home, I would say it started in 2009.
Okay, wow, that's a long... So from the
It
90s
was.
all the way to 2009.
Yes, that's when there
Things-
was a switch. So in 2009 in December, I came home. And for some reason, I noticed things are changing.
Tell me a little bit about now your situation in 2009. Is it
Yeah.
just Anna Njoroge by herself?
It's still me.
It's
Yes.
no family,
No
nobody.
family, nothing. I'm
Okay.
still pursuing this career, this American dream, and
Okay.
maybe break a few ceilings if
Right.
I can't, because that was my trajectory.
Right.
That was my path.
Power woman.
Yes, so like whatever I can do,
Right.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
In 2009, I come home, and for the first time, you know, the years of coming home, I'm like, wait.
You'd
Kenya-
been visiting, right?
Yes,
All this time. Yeah.
but that's the first time I was like, Kenya is starting to change.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, okay, maybe I could do this.
Yeah.
But you've been gone for so long.
Yeah,
it's
of
a
course.
different kind of transition.
Yeah.
And then, you know, every year I came, and every year there was
Yeah.
just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like I really, I think I really want to come back home.
Okay.
But I'm not quite there
So the
yet.
itch started in 2009, and when did
Yes.
you finally scratch it?
2014.
2014. You're like, nah.
2014, I was like, and I remember actually coming 2013 in December. And I was here, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make this move, and I'm going to give myself a year. So December 2014, I'm moving back. I didn't make a year. I went back in January, and I had checked out completely of my life in the US. Literally, I was not there. So I decided May, I'm gonna go back, and I had also never been here no more months. I came in December, which you all know. It's
It's like, it's not really a reflection of real
It's
life.
just
Come in January when they call it in January.
January,
Yeah.
So I decided, let me come in May when everyone is, you know, doing their normal thing and
That's
see
right.
if it works. I actually had a return ticket.
Okay.
So I was gonna come in May, leave in July.
Okay.
And I remember when I gave notice, and I went to my boss and I said, I need to talk to you, and she's like, you're leaving. I'm like, how did you know? She's like, since you came back from Kenya,
You've
there
not been
was
the
just
same.
something.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what,
Yeah.
but there was something that's just not there.
Right.
So yeah, moved
And so you
back.
came back, and tell me about.
So came back. I didn't want to come and be idle. I wanted to come and, you know, feel like I'm contributing to society, which is probably, I didn't realize, but it was one of the smartest things I did. So I volunteered. I found a volunteer organization actually they're based in the UK, but they do projects all over the world on a volunteer basis. So I got a volunteership as a volunteer CFO. And moved back. So I had somewhere to go every morning.
Sure.
And the reason that became so critical is when you move back, you know, December it's easy.
You need a routine.
You need a routine.
Yeah.
And December is easy. People can give you a few hours for lunch.
Sure.
But when you move back, they have lives.
That's right.
They're not just there waiting for you
That's
to
right.
call them
That's right.
to hang out.
People are busy.
People are busy.
Yeah.
And that's also when you realize you no longer, yes, these were your friends, but you've been gone for 16 years.
Right.
you moved in different
Right.
directions.
Right.
Because what brings people together is, going through life shared experiences.
Yes.
And we didn't share any experiences. So yes, it's okay. We can have a conversation for an hour when I'm here visiting, but once I'm back, so I realized it's actually very, very lonely.
So how did you deal with that?
I found, it was tough, but found a group of people. And the fact that I had something to do Monday through Friday
Yeah.
made it not so glaring.
Sure.
And I remember weekends where I would actually look at my phone and I'm like, is my phone working? And you realize when you come back, even your parents have a life. And I remember one time calling my mom on the weekend. It was, I think, a Thursday. And I said, okay, I'm going to come on Friday. And she tells me, no, don't come this weekend. We have plans. I'm like, okay.
So,
Yes.
so you're volunteering, you're working as a CFO, and at what point did the entrepreneurial bug
It
bite?
hit me before I actually moved back.
Okay.
I knew when I moved back, I wanted to do something.
Okay.
Because part of me moving back, I felt like I want to build something
Okay.
at home.
Okay.
Like I've had this great experiences. I've had amazing mentors around the world, along the way from different places.
And you've got this wealth of knowledge as well, and all
Right.
these experiences.
So I want to build something, and,
Right.
and this is where we need to build it, because Africa is where it's happening.
I love it.
Almost everything that has been built there in the US has, there's very little. So I was like, okay,
Here
I'm
we
gonna
go.
build it here.
All right.
Problem is, I wasn't sure what. And what I've realized, you actually don't know what until you're on the ground.
And we will take a break there because I want to figure out how you found out your what when we take a break and come back with Njoroge here on Top Job. Welcome back to Top Job. For those of you who were with us before, we're here with the lovely Njoroge, founder and director of Ythera Beauty. And the story that she's just told me here in her lovely home about how she packed up, moved to the US, came back to Kenya, looked around and realized there's an opportunity here. And when we were on break, you were telling me a little bit about how the experience of being this woman in this corporate America, and you're an African woman from the village, and now you have to contend with, this strong white male presence, how that now just stood you in good stead. There's some characteristics that an entrepreneur requires. Before I go into the entrepreneurial journey of how Ythera Beauty started, what are some of the characteristics that you say you already had to be able to allow you to get into entrepreneurship?
I think one of the biggest one is trust in yourself and trust your instincts.
Right.
Just being okay with, this is what I feel, this is what I think, and
Right.
I'm going to go with that. The next one is listening. Listening is a skill that I don't think people realize how important it is. The next one is being able to be okay with a challenge, that things will not work out all the time. You will fail multiple times. Sometimes your most amazing idea will just fall on its face.
That's huge. People have fear of failure.
And yes, and the fear is always there.
Right.
Like, I was telling you during the break, fear is always there. You're terrified, you're fearful, and especially for me, having had this, successful career, and here I am jumping into something else completely
So
into
accepting
the
that
unknown.
and-
But yeah, it's not going to work out. And sometimes I'll have this amazing idea and it will fall flat on its face. And it is okay. And I can just get up and go. And especially as a woman, I think that comes from just accepting who you are and
Right.
being okay with you.
Yes.
And that's a journey that has been, it's come over time,
Yeah.
because I always felt conflicted. I felt, I'm going to use the word weird.
Okay.
I always felt a little bit weird because I don't fit in a box.
Okay.
At the beginning I told you I'm a complete paradox. I'm a tomboy. I can also, I'm very introverted. I know it doesn't come off usually. I learned to kind of take that away. I'm very introverted. I would rather, my best place is I want to be home with a book.
Okay, wow.
That's my place to be. I love the outdoors, But I'm also like, I want to get my hair done.
You know?
I want to put on a nice dress and put on nice shoes. I love, love, love shoes.
Nice.
But all these pieces of me, and I love math.
Well,
And I love
As
to read,
an
and I love
accountant, of
math.
course.
And you know, you find pieces like one person, people are like this or like this. So it was very conflicting, especially in my 20s.
Okay.
So, but in my 30s, and that takes looking deep inside, taking stock. Who am I?
for some people that can be very scary.
And it is scary
Yeah.
because it also takes confronting you and realizing you're not perfect. And a lot of us, and you can't do it all at one go. You have to do it in little pieces.
Absolutely.
And really what, you were told all these things. Your mother told you this, society told you this, your mentors told you this. So you have these beliefs that really, but are they yours?
And this leads me to my next question. Because you seem to have the ability to truly understand what it is that you want. Most people don't know what they know what they don't want. But as soon as you say, okay, fine, Anna, what do you want? How did you know that beauty was the thing? Especially here in Kenya.
I didn't know. So came back, I was very excited. I'm back in Kenya. Before I left Kenya, I remember one of my friends, she's also African, she actually, told me, before I left, I'm playing all African music. And she told me, you become very Afrocentric. I remember her using that word. And I moved back and I'm like, I want to buy Kenyan.
Right.
I want to buy Kenyan. And I like nice things.
Yes.
I do make no apologies for that.
Qualities,
I like nice things.
Yes.
I wanna still have the quality I used to have, when I was away. And then I said, okay, there's not very much Kenyan, so African.
Good.
There's not very much of that either.
Good.
So what I found was same imported brands that I knew, but now the price
Crazy.
is crazy. And I remember calling a friend of mine. I was actually on the phone with her when I was looking at something in the shop. I'm like, I don't want to buy the shop. I just want one item.
Yeah.
Why
I don't want to buy the shop.
No, I just want one item.
Yeah.
And that got me to thinking. I was like, why can't we create our own brands?
Right.
And why not? Because we have capability. We have smart, talented people. And that started me thinking, hey, I'll build a brand.
And what was it? What was the first thing that you decided, okay, you know what, this is what we're going to do, this is the products that we're going to put out, or the services, or whatever. Tell me a little bit about the genesis.
So the genesis, I'm going to build a brand.
Okay.
Okay. And at first, it was build a luxury brand.
Okay.
Then I started thinking about it. I want this to be for the woman of Africa. And luxury, yes, we want luxury, but the price of luxury, because the rule is you either build for the people, what you're developing, or if you're going to go luxury, go Lamborghini.
There we go.
Right? So if I was going to go luxury, it's Lamborghini, but Lamborghini is expensive.
Yes.
And I wanted it to be where all of us can...
Accessible.
Sure. Affordable,
Sure.
accessible, but great quality.
Sure.
And I went to... I didn't even know what product. I had no name. I just had a vision. This is what I wanted to be. I wanted to be international standards, same global standards that are accepted. I want it to be African. Even in the name, I don't want it to be confused and I want it to represent this African woman. You need to pay the bills, but find something else that you actually have passion toward. And imagination. I have a very wild imagination, and that's why I love books. I actually prefer books to movies.
What's the book that you're reading now?
Right now, I'm reading The Black Swan.
Okay. Here we go. Thank you so much for watching Top Job with me, Mwenesi Musalia. Remember, it's all about power moves only.